Fangan is a sequel to Danganronpa Desperate Heart. We recommend you watch that series first. We are not related to any Danganronpa companies in any way. This is strictly fan-made. This series is rated 16. Viewer discretion is advised.
Mochi is not the killer. Even if he was a murderer, he would not kill Gunma. They're like a father and son.
Gunma is not my father. He's more so just saying that he cared for you. Like a father would, you know? My father is dead! He was murdered by a werewolf! And now Gunma was murdered too! Why does this keep happening to me?
Emiliano, you're wrong in thinking only Tomochi and I can know about the guns.
You what now?
Anyone could have known about those guns, not just Tomochi and I.
Of course, babes. Soon as I blame you, you gotta find it out. That's exactly what Bombin tried.
No, listen to me right now, okay? The bedroom doors can't lock from outside.
Cool your jets, bitch! So fucking what?
So anyone could have gone in and seen the guns, even without bad intent.
No, that's wrong!
I'm confused. How is that wrong, Emiliano?
It's not wrong, but I gotta enter testimony somehow. Fine. I'll admit that. It's true that anyone could have entered Gunma's room and saw the guns, okay?
Emily, honey, perhaps we should figure out the cause of death 100% before we throw blame.
Methinks it would be a good idea to spirit channel Gunma. He could shine light on some of our queries.
Nah, think about it. If someone set up the remote gun, then he wouldn't have seen the culprit, would he?
That's a fair assumption. I don't think even Gunma knew his killer in this case.
So let us return to the popcorn machine. Where was the gun positioned? Does anyone have an idea?
Yes, I do.
Funny that I got an idea too. Maybe we're thinking the same thing. Say it on 3.
No.
There was tape on the inside of the door to the machine, and a little bit just inside it.
Then the gun was inside the machine. The culprit taped the door shut so nobody would open it and find the gun.
I don't think so, because then the gun would have to shoot through glass, and again it would hit Gunma at an angle, not square in the face.
Then the culprit took the glass panes out.
Also no, because the popcorn would have fallen out of the machine.
Wasn't inside the machine then, was it?
Not necessarily. It could have been inside the machine, but it just means Gunma was standing in front of it.
That's a good point. If Gunma was somehow lured over to the popcorn machine's door, and the revolver was pointed directly at it, if he opened the door, then he'd be shot in the face.
But remember, the tape was closing the door shut.
Tape's not that strong, Rentomu.
Some tapes are. Binding tape, for instance.
But why tape the door if the culprit wanted Gunma to open it?
Every time we get an idea, we get one teensy little thing saying, "No, that's wrong."
Say that's true though. I may know what lured him over. If the tape was just a precaution, and Gunma was meant to be lured over, then the revolver itself is what got him out of his seat. When you pair the remote with the revolver, it makes a beep kind of sound. Gunma heard that and walked over to the machine, sensing the gun's presence. Being at the back of the cinema, nobody even noticed.
Gunma heard that and walked over to the machine, sensing the gun's presence.
Hold it! Did Gunma even know about that sound? I doubt he actually used those guns prior.
About that, he definitely knew.
What?
Even so, the culprit didn't know he knew, did they? It seems I can cross Charlotte off my suspect list. Just you know, Mochi, my boy.
Maybe we should channel him. This seems like something he could help us with.
I'm ready and waiting at your command, Emiliano.
Huh? Yeah, sure, why not? Give him a call.
As you wish. Remember to bring me back. Use the sacred—
Got it, we know. Get on with it.
Certainly. O spirits of the deceased, hear my call. By the power of the sacred Magatama, I reach in and drag this soul into my body to use as a vessel. Use me as your ship to sail the spiritual plane and step forth into our world.
Good evening, everybody.
Gunma.
Tomochi! Glad to see you're doing well! I assumed that this would happen, but, these clothes are rather tight.
Straight up then, Gunma. Do you know the killer?
Right into it, are we? Yes, I suppose I shouldn't delay you any further. No, I do not know. What do you know so far? You are mostly correct. I did in fact hear the revolving pairing noise. This prompted me to get up and search for the weapon. If someone set up a trap, I had no way of knowing the perpetrator. I simply opened the door to the popcorn machine and that's where my memory cuts off.
Yeah, didn't think it'd be any help. Shall we bring Rentomu back?
No! No! Not yet!
Tomochi, this is your mystery to solve. If you need me here to help you, then by all means, I'll be here. But you are the one who needs to solve this.
Excuse me? I'm the fucking protagonist here. My point stands. The Cobra had to know Gunma knew about the sound. Else how would they get him over? So Tomochi's the damn culprit.
Enough! Emiliano, please! Tomochi is the only one that can solve this.
Gunma's whole death was a complete accident! Who would try and kill a titan like him?
I only told Tomochi about them. We may have had a little play around.
The culprit happened upon the guns in Gunma's room by complete chance.
Meaning, whoever found them probably assumed they were Gunma's guns to start.
But that doesn't explain the sheer luck dependent on luring Gunma over with the sound.
Gunma's whole death was a complete accident! Who would try and kill a titan like him?
I agree with that! The idea of luring him over completely relies on the culprit knowing Gunma knowing the sound! So I think we should abandon this entire line of thinking.
What? But we worked so hard to get to this point! Where do we go from here, Mochi?
I think we've got the location of the gun entirely wrong!
Go on.
Where else could the gun be if not inside the popcorn machine?
I think it was definitely inside it, but I think that it's a different factor we've gotten wrong.
I don't think the revolver was facing the door.
Do we really have to go back on ourselves? What could we have gotten wrong?
There's too many inconsistencies. We need to rethink this.
The culprit wanted Gunma to find the revolver.
Why'd they tape the door shut then, huh? You're kinda dippy.
OMG! Hi, Yukie! Fancy seeing you here! Deja vu, am I right?
Did you get a haircut since I saw you last? Looking fresh, Mouse.
The only other place it could face was Gunma's seat, right?
All I know was that it was facing me when I opened the door, not where it was initially.
Initially? You're trying to tell me the gun moved?
It could have risen, fallen, rotated, slid, or even materialized into place. Gravitational science is great!
The door was taped shut, Gunma was shot at point blank. What are you proposing?
why would the culprit tape shut the door? I think the tape was used for something else.
This is the truth!
Picture this. The gun is facing the complete opposite of the door, away from Gunma. The tape isn't being used to keep the door shut, but instead, to keep the gun in place. It's stuck around that popcorn mover pole in the middle.
And so what? When Gunma opened the door, the gun just spun around to face him? That defies all physics.
No, it doesn't. Remember, we found 2 pieces of tape. Right, Charlotte?
Mm-hmm. One on the door, one inside the machine.
The second piece of tape was connecting the gun to the door itself. The pole in the middle is designed to spin, so when Gunma opened the door, the force of the door opening spun the gun around to face him.
Whoa, where did you get all this technical know-how?
I make heap loads of traps for cryptids. I know a thing or two about mechanisms.
No way. Tomochi, you're a genius!
How did you... Is that really true then? I mean, obviously. That's what I was thinking as well.
Tomochi! You're like really smart!
No, wait, this changes nothing! This still relies on the culprit knowing Gunma knew about the sound!
One note, Tomochi. I believe you're correct in the tape, but I think the tape connecting the gun to the door was there to secure the gun, not prepare the rotation mechanism. I don't think Gunma was our intended target.
It's past your bedtime! You sound clever, but this still makes no sense! This tape mechanism sounds great! I believe that in a flash. But now you say Gunma wasn't the target? Then why'd he end up dead?
It's as you said, Matilda. The culprit didn't know whether or not Gunma knew about the pairing sound. So they can't have prepped for it.
Then what, the gun was facing the screen? It's facing a glass wall! If that was direction and aim, they'd have had to shoot through glass!
No, that's not true! The popcorn machine had small holes. If the tape holds the gun in position, the bullet could go through those holes.
Right. The little air holes in the machine. That's where the gun was aiming?
But that means...
If the gun shoots straight towards the screen, then the target was...
Mochi!
Tomochi, again, you need to solve this case.
I'm the target. Gunma died instead of me?
Think about it, Tomochi. Think really hard about this. Why were you the target?
What do you mean, think about it? What am I supposed to think about?
I've only realized it myself, but we can figure out why you were the target.
What do you want me to do, Gunma?
I want you to think. What was loaded in that gun?
A bullet? I don't understand.
What kind of bullet, Tomochi? What kind of bullet, Tomochi?
A silver bullet.
And what is the significance of a silver bullet?
They're the only thing that can kill a werewolf.